guys, Fusebox here, and I am running on fumes. I've been working day and night, literally day and night. I have really not been playing the game for about 3 days, but hopefully things are going good with the Hern dig. If you're going for him, hopefully you're getting all your pieces for the fusion. Luckily, the auto clicker is keeping me in the game on that, but I've missed 3 days of Doom Tower, pretty much everything that I just haven't been able to sit down. Been missing Clan Boss. But I wanted to go over a hero. I've got a little bit of time before I go to sleep. And wanted to jump on somebody that I didn't need to alter or build up or change their build. Just kind of show somebody that made a huge difference on my small account. And absolutely, this guy is better than... Well, I really didn't know how amazing he is. Tomblord can be a game changer for progression. If you're early-ish game and you're trying to push into Doom Tower, he's so good, so good. Pretty much anywhere his affinity lets him go. This account does not have a Stag Knight. Well, Tomblord is kind of an answer to that. Let's look at what he does. First of all, let's look at his A1 triple hitter. So now that there are so many different affinities that you can comfortably, and this is how I look at the new level 25 of the dungeons, you can pick your affinity. They're all worth grinding, 20 all the way to 25. So you can pick your affinity, and he's got a triple hitter on his A1 that decreases speed. Absolutely made for Fire Knight. Now, as far as books go, this guy deserves every book he can get. I have 2 books in him, but you know how that goes, right? So he's my next focus to book out because he's amazing as a hero. So that's great. A triple hitter on his A1 makes him viable anywhere that you want to, breaking the shield on Fire Knight. You could also put him in Giant Slayer if you wanted. And he has decreased speed. Any boss that you can land decreased speed on, you always want to land decreased speed. So he brings that, kind of like Stag Knight. I'm going to compare him several times to Stag Knight. So his A2 Death Burst. This is an amazing ability. It brings 4 poisons. As long as you crit, you will land 4 poisons on all enemies. So if you're trying to build that big poison combustion build where you just explode everything, it's hard to beat this. If you could throw 4 poisons on the entire team. If you've got 2 Tomblords, by the way, this is the account where I got my first dupe, and now I have 3 of them, 3 Tomblords. But this ability is absolutely amazing. It makes him excellent on Dragon. Real quick, I want to call out Chosen. He made a video on a better build than what I'm going to be showing you on my small account, by all means. But Tomblord absolutely can solo level 25 of Dragon. He built him, very fast. A lot of HP, so he can withstand some damage. Probably even threw a little defense in there. High resistance. A really good build. You want 100% crit because of this to land those poisons and increase your damage and kill things, especially like the dragon. You're going to want to land those 4 poisons, not 2. So you definitely want to crit with this guy. And then his A3 decreases turn meter of all the enemies that are under 50% health. That's great. That's absolutely amazing. Then he has a guaranteed chance to decrease attack. Excellent. And a guaranteed chance to decrease defense. Excellent. It gets even better. If any of the enemies lose their turn meter when he uses this move, he gets an extra turn. So what you will notice is this amazing move, which is exactly the move that we love Stag Knight for. It's on a 6-turn cooldown. So books take care of 1. You're on a 5-turn cooldown. If you take anybody's turn meter down because they're under 50% when this goes off, now it's kind of down to a 4-turn cooldown because that extra turn takes effect. Then if you put him in something like, absolutely I suggest getting him in Reflex Gear if you can. You could try to do the same with Relentless, but this is going to cool down and it really doesn't matter which ability it cools down. They're all amazing, but this is going to keep him cycling through just so he can get back to all of his amazing abilities. So this is going to be a weak build. He's a support champion. All these things he does He can put out a little damage, and the poisons are really effective at damage. You don't need anything other than accuracy to land that. So when you're building this guy out, whether you have a good reflex set or not, first you've got to get the accuracy up. You've got to hit at least, if you're doing dungeon content, regular bosses, you've got to hit that 220 mark. You want him landing those poisons. You want him landing his decreased defense. You want him landing his decreased attack. So definitely start by making sure Perception Gear will help you get there with some speed to get him at 220. And this is not a fast build. I mean, look, I've got him in some 4-star gear. This is my small account. I just try not to push this account. But this guy, I got speed boots. They're just weak sauce. And I want him to be tanky. He's a support champ. Fast and tanky is basically what you're going for. Again, a 4-star chest, but HP. Definitely went with my crit rate gloves to get a huge chunk knocked out. He needs to be critting to get those poisons out. And then I was looking for speed and crit rate. Even took a little crit damage on some of the pieces. Extra defense, extra HP. Kind of a very balanced build. It's really a great way to go with him. High HP is definitely a good way to keep him alive. He doesn't have an amazing starting stat on defense. So stacking HP is going to do you a lot more good on this guy. And this is not a super build, obviously, right? But I'm going to show you what he can do for you if you're progressing. If you're in game, he's absolutely a viable, amazing champ if you need that combination. Stagnite can keep the defense and attack down a little bit more consistently, but once you get this guy fast and in a reflex set, he'll be able to do that job. He also brings the slow, just like Stagnite does, and he brings 4 poisons. So if all that kit works well on any boss, which pretty much every boss it does, he's amazing. Doom Tower bosses. Obviously, he's going to be great for Night Revenant Faction Wars. Just a really a solid, amazing champ. So I didn't push his attack real high. I've got enough to do some damage. I've got enough HP for an early build to keep me alive. Got my accuracy. That's the most important thing. Crit rate is definitely important. You want to make sure you're getting all your poisons. And then speed. He needs more speed, obviously. But for where I'm at in the game, I've got him. I've got him kind of going. Real quick, let's just kind of go over his masteries. There are a lot of ways to build this guy out. There's a lot of ways. You're gonna need crit rate. So I went ahead and took my crit rate, crit damage, and kind of just wanted to get down to Giant Slayer for that A1 with 3 hits. I did take accuracy. If you don't need it, obviously take more health. But I do like to go into Cycle of Magic because I want those cooldowns getting cut down. Even though I only have 1 perception set, this is going to increase the benefit of that speed and accuracy. And Master Hexer's great. You want those debuffs to last longer so he can get back to him, because he does have a little bit of a longer cooldown, but if things go right, he'll cycle right through them. And I forewent Swarm Smiter because I do like Arcane Celerity. He's always putting debuffs out. As they come down, it's going to speed him up even more, in effect, giving him speed. And then just, Shield Breaker is kind of a utility in case I come up against some nasty waves with shields in the Doom Tower. Just in case I actually get the landing blow, kill somebody, I like to speed up. Pretty simple build. But I would say that Master Hexer is excellent. Giant Slayer is excellent. Definitely Cycle of Magic is excellent. The rest, just whatever you need the most. So let's get into this guy. He's absolutely great. Let's just show you the first place that made perfect sense. Again, Chosen actually took this guy, built him out in a very in-game build, by the way, to just solo the dragon. So there's one reason to use this guy in-game. He can solo while you're leveling other heroes, getting a lot more out of each run on the dragon. I think he was doing level 24 because of affinity. I better make sure. Either way, this guy can solo the dragon as long as his affinity lines up. So this team was struggling to get through here, and with a rather strange team, I've only got the characters that I've got. So I've taken a little wave clear. I do think I have a stun set on Skull Crown. I'm not even sure about that. I just don't really play this game this account all that hard. But now that I have sealed the drakes, hopefully I'll have her up during this event, and she'll come in and be giving me heals and stuns and all that good stuff. So let's just real quick get in here, and we're going to pay attention. We'll slow it down and watch what Tomblord does on full auto. We're watching him right here. So of course, I like speed. I'm speeding up my team, buffing up my team to protect them. And here we go. Decrease attack, decrease defense. We've already set the pace for this match. We've got two of the most important debuffs against a team that we could want. Luckily, we've got Achak here controlling the team. And then Tomblord comes back around with Death Burst and poisons everywhere. You see how this goes, right? And if you did have Poison Combustion, I believe Karam does that, you could use him to do that Poison Combustion team. They could just wipe waves, kind of like Seer does, as long as you could reset those abilities. Otherwise, you're waiting on that to come back around. So let's just kind of speed this up, get him to the boss, because that's where these poisons are going to really be effective. So, now real quick, let me see, that was stage 20. So, now we just did that as the wrong affinity, which is surely why we just had all that bad luck. I didn't even realize that we were doing that on stage 20. So he just did that as the wrong affinity. Clearly, it's a better run on the right affinity, right? But any boss, he's going to do this for any boss that you take him on. So I've missed a lot of days on Doom Tower, and this is my very early account. It usually struggles even worse than I have been. But he's going to do the same thing on any of these bosses that you can slow, decrease their defense and attack. That's great for, I can't think of a boss that he's not good on. I really cannot. You got to be careful against the Griffin. He can put those debuffs back on you. You definitely would want a manual, and you can't control that speed debuff, so he could be problematic on the Griffin, but everywhere else in this game, he's absolutely great. And if you ever wanted to make that Poison Combustion team, I can't imagine anybody being better for it. There's that Taurus, I believe, that puts out 4 poisons, but at the cost of all but 1 health. Well, Tomblord doesn't have to do all that. He'll just put it out there consistently. So there is a chance. We're going to keep this short. I am super tired, like super tired. I'm sorry that I've been so busy. But I mean, I have no point in apologizing. It's just life, right? But this guy right here might be worth building at least 2, if not 3. So my dupe system might just consist. I'm going to see how powerful it makes him when you use dupes. He's the only dupe I had in this game. Since then, I've gotten some more. Matter of fact, in the last month on my main account, I've pulled 2 legendaries. 1 void, exciting, right? And 1 non-void. Both of them were dupes. Now, they're good dupes. They're very good dupes. I got Lysandra, 2 Lysandras. At least I could do 2 different builds. I don't really need them on the same team, but I can have an arena build. But I mean, really, she just needs to be fast and tanky, so I don't know if I'm ever going to use 2. I will take advantage of the dupe system, probably make her stronger. And then I also got Krutraxa. Now, Krutraxa is amazing. I might possibly just build 2 of her for certain things like Fire Knight and try to burn through it one day. But Tomblord may be worth having at least 2, because I can have 8 poisons up like that and then combust them and just be done with things like, let's go. There's one more place he's amazing. You've got to check this guy. Spiders, he's actually amazing on spiders. He brings all the same things that you're used to seeing. Those poisons are effective if you're not able to control turn meter enough. Now, I am going with a very... I do have an HP burn team going here, but I'm just, like I said, the gear, everything, I'm keeping it low. But let's just throw him in here because it's not a long fight if everything goes well. He's going to do all the things you want. He's going to slow that mother spider down. Hopefully letting Cold Heart come back around, use Heart Seeker. I have not gotten my Cold Heart in a reflex set, but if you haven't seen what everybody's talking about, it's absolutely the kind of thing that we knew was coming with this new patch where we can control AI. If you put her in a reflex set, turn off her A2, she only has one ability that reflex can cool down, and that's Heart Seeker, making her come back around constantly. Back to this though, we've got HP burn, we've got well, from him we've got defense down, attack down, we just landed speed down, 4 poisons, so if that spider takes a turn, the heal won't hurt as bad. The poisons on everybody else really don't matter much because I am trying to HP burn them down. But this spider probably will get a turn because I don't have a lot of turn control on this team. But when it does take a turn, those poisons will make that hurt just a little bit less. Just a little bit less. And then we'll hopefully land one more HP burn. This will be done quick. Maybe one good Heart Seeker. And then we'll be out of here. Just amazing. All those debuffs are coming from him. Now that HP burns up, this won't take a second to beat. But we're keeping those spiderlings where they can't do damage, as much damage, because their attack's down. He's just an amazing champ. I'm not going to run him through everything because I think you get the idea. For every boss, he brings everything you need. And honestly, a poison or two is not a big deal typically, but on waves, 4 poisons, that can help a lot. That can really help a lot. Finish people off or get them ready to finish off. So definitely worth building if you got Tomblord, especially early game. He's great right through the end game. Promise you, he's an amazing champion. It depends on what you need, but he brings all that stuff in his kit and could be built far stronger than what I got. Now, Stag Knight probably still takes a lot of people's slot in in-game because he is quick at getting back around to that decreased defense and attack. His A1 hits very hard, but Tomblord does bring those poisons. It kind of makes up for that damage difference between him and Stag Knight. Just want to go over somebody real quick. I've got to get to bed. Got to get this stuff auto running so I can go get me some sleep. But thanks for sticking with me. I am off. I'm off call as of right now, and I'm running on about 3 hours of sleep for the last 48 hours. That's no joke. So I need to go see my family and get my butt in bed. Guys, until next time, enjoy the grind.